Here's how to create a kick drum in Serum. First, make sure your voicing is in mono, and then add global to ensure that the oscillator settings are at the highest quality. Put it at 4x. At oscillator A, go to analog, basic shapes, then put it down 2 octaves. Now you want to come here to the envelope 1. Typically, I like to turn up the attack so that there's not too much of a click at the start. Turn down the decay. Somewhere in the 100 range is typically the average. And then turn down the sustain to negative infinity. Now you want to increase the hold. And again, somewhere near 100 or so is usually what's used. Now it sounds like this. So you're going to want to come over to envelope 2. Do relatively the same exact thing, except we're going to make more of this tiny triangle shape. Now we're going to want to drag this envelope up to the CRS. This is the coarse pitch, and for this you're going to want to increase where this level is next to it. Head over to the matrix. Now it's going to sound like this, and it's going to have a high pitched noise. We're going to want to turn this down and make sure at the type that it's an arrow, just 1. This gives it more of a punch. I like to keep it around 20. Now you can go back to the envelope and decide what you want to do with the attack, hold, and decay. This is really what's going to determine the sound of the kick itself. So if you want a longer kick, you turn up the hold, which gives it more of an 808 feel, which I don't want for this. The attack again gets rid of that click at the start, which I don't like, but sometimes you might want that. And the decay is also how long it takes to fade out. Which again, I want something short, so we're going to keep it like that. For the second envelope, I would keep it at a low hold. I would keep the attack pretty much the same. So all of these knobs should be relatively low on the second envelope. Then you want to enable the filter. You can keep the MG low 12. Then you're going to want to drag this envelope to the cutoff. And this helps sweep away frequencies from the mid-range and the high range that you might not want. So the lower you have this, the lower the frequencies are going to be cut off, and you won't have a kick at all if you have it too low. So you're going to want to put it up quite a bit. And this just helps to get rid of all the extra high frequencies that aren't really needed for a kick anyways. Then you can add a noise, attack kicks, choose whatever one out of these that you want. And this adds more of a punch again to it. So obviously you're going to want to lower the level. And I don't want it too noticeable, so I'm going to have it around 2. And then also back at the filter, we're going to want to increase the drive. This gives it more body. Then we're going to want to add some distortion. This is really up to you. A lot of people use hard clip, tube, soft clip, and there's a few others that you can mess around with. I'm going to leave it with tube, and then we can turn up the drive. And you can mix it in using this knob. A lot of people keep it at 100%. And then just mess with this drive. So this adds extra harmonics. I'm going to put it at around 35% so it's not oversaturating the mix. And then people add compression as well. All of this is really up to you, and then you can just compensate for the volume lost with this gain knob, which also makes it louder. This attack time, when it's set lower, can get rid of the punchiness at the start, but if it's set higher, it'll give it more body. And the higher this ratio is, the more it's compressing it, along with the threshold. And for a lot of kicks around 200 to 300 hertz, you may want to lower it just because those frequencies kind of muddy up the kick a bit. I wouldn't go anything below 4 decibels. Pushing past 6 is really pushing it. Obviously, reverb is up to you, but that's pretty much it. You have a pretty solid kick just by doing that. I would make sure when you switch the bass note that you're using for a song, that you switch the parameters as well, because the frequencies that are outputted from the note that you're clicking might change if you go to a lower or higher frequency range. Make sure you drop a like and follow for more.